Wagwan, welcome to my channel. This is your Jamaican girl Oshari, and we are on another episode of Getting It Real. Now, I want to say a major thank you to those who have subscribed to the family. For those who have not yet subscribed, me no know now wait pan. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss anything. I have been MIA, yes, missing in action, missing, point blank. Why was I missing? So I've been working on a book. The book got published on Friday. Yeah. So your homegirl is now officially an author, among other things. And so my past couple weeks have been focused on just getting that through the door. Also, I'm doing my master's, so yeah, it's been a crazy few weeks, but I am back because that one project is off the hook. Now I can focus on doing more videos and getting those out to you. And of course, my videos are always educational, always something that is worth watching, right? Yes, agree? All right, so what I want to talk to you about today, because I have like a shitload of messages, text messages, emails, social media chats asking me, how did you do it? I need tips and whatever. And everybody's supposed to know me. I hate repeating myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm doing this video. I'm gonna be putting it out there for persons who are interested in writing their books. I'm just gonna share my story with you. There's no right or wrong about the way you choose to do it, but I'm just sharing my story and how I went about getting my book published. Nothing. Yes. So let's get to the meat of the matter, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Yeah. All right. So I started writing this book in 2016, only because there was so much things going on in my life, so much chaos. Pardon me. The title of my book is Discovering Purpose in Chaos. I don't know how I jump over all of that and come to not telling you the name of the book. Yes, it's Discovering Purpose in Chaos. And that book was birthed out of a lot of chaos that was going on in my life in 2016, religiously, socially, and personally. Most persons know I had a miscarriage in 2016, and it felt like I was in a pit. And at that time, it took me back to a moment when my doctor told me that I would not be able to have kids because I had endometriosis, or so they said. I had endometriosis. I refused to accept that diagnosis, so I went down in prayer, and I ignored it. So when I had the miscarriage, of course, the devil bring it up back to the forefront of my mind. Like, yes, the doctor did tell you, so you're not gonna have no pitney. I will make you feel so special. Anyways, so I was in depression. I was in a pit. I was angry at God. I was angry at the devil. I was angry at myself. I was trying to think about what could I have done, right or wrong. How could I have avoided that from happening? Not understanding that there are certain things in life that just has to happen. As much as how it hurts, it just has to happen. A lot of us are living in chaotic situations, and the reason why I chose this title is because chaos can mean everything that is just not going right. Once it's not going right, it feels like chaos, it feels like turmoil, it feels like disaster, right? And a lot of persons get drowned, they get swallowed up by the fact that they are in chaos. They're so focused on everything bad that's happening. I don't know if you have a friend that when you call a friend, every time you call a friend, it's like you go through the whole depression thing with that friend, because all they want to do is talk about the situation that they're going in, and they can't seem to see the light. They can't seem to see all the good things that are happening. And it's very often I do that. Sometimes I get so caught up about the bad things in my life that I seem to forget all of the good things that are going on, and I can't seem to find my purpose because I am so focused on the negative, on that thing that is sucking my energy. So this book talks about those kind of situations and how not to focus on them, how to focus on the goal. Do you know it's possible for something to be in front of you, but you're actually seeing behind it? Meaning you are seeing beyond the obstacle that's in your way because you have a goal, you have a vision. And so I started operating in that form, started realizing and identifying that there was more to me than the situation that was in front of me. So the fact that the enemy caused a miscarriage to happen. And I'm at the state of my life right now where when even bad things happen, I say yes, it's God, because the enemy could not have allowed it to happen without God's permission. And so I know that there's greater in everything that happens in my life. Amen. And so whatever you're going through in your life right now, just start decreeing and declaring that it is already done. The purpose that is in your life has to be manifested. It has to be fulfilled. I said this in my book, and I'm going to say this right now. Once God has his hands in it, it must be fulfilled. Because his hands is the bigger hand, is the greater hand. He's a God that's seen all things before the Bible says before we were even consumed in our mother's womb, he knew us, and he knew everything that would have been happening in our lives. So let the chaos come, let the turmoil come, let the disaster come, let the hurt and the loss and the brokenness come. It's the fact that you focus on the outcome, focus on where you want to go, focus on that light, because every tunnel must have an exit, you know. Just like when you're reaching a tunnel, there must be a way to come out. So start focusing on getting out, start focusing on the goals that you have, and you, my dear friends, will get to the end. You'll get out of the tunnel. My pit did feel bottomless, and let me tell you something, I am a living testimony of what it means to move from brokenness to victory, where I can smile. Somebody said to me last night, she's always smiling. I pity them, don't know where I'm going through my head sometime, but guess what? I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay on. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Yes, that's how I'm happy. Let's get to the creme de la creme now. How do you publish a book? You can publish a book in 1 month, in 30 days, and it's not something that is hard to do. And this is my few tips, so don't come jump down on me and don't tell me say nothing go so, because of that me do. Okay? So the first thing I'd recommend for you to do, I didn't come up with the title of my book until like the book done, right? So, but have a general idea of what you want to talk about, and ensure that you have a target audience. Don't say that you want to write a book for everybody. Not no gusto. Only the Bible. The Bible is the only book that goes for everyone. Once you're writing a book, narrow down your target audience. You know, is it young people? Is it married women? Is it singles? Is it men? Is it women? Find a target audience, narrow that down. Once you've narrowed that down, you start thinking about the general concept that you want to talk about. I would recommend, let it be something that you're passionate about, something that you know about, so you don't have to spend too much time doing too much research, right? Because then in doing the research, sometimes you get over cumbersome. Everything just seems to be like in your head, just coming at you like, oh my God, I can't do this. Yeah, like everything just populates in your head now. Do this, do that, do that. No, don't do it like that. Right? Then the next thing to do is to ensure that you do your table of contents. I don't care if it's a novel, I don't care if it's a self-help book, non-fiction, whatever it is. Do a table of contents. It doesn't have to go in your book, but do it so it will help you to write. Once you've outlined the number of chapters you're going to have in your book, ensure that you list those out, the name of each chapter, and then that will help to guide you for each chapter. Now, my other recommendation is you set deadlines in your phone. I had a constant reminder every day to get up to say, work on the chapter, work on a chapter, work on a chapter. So if you say that this week I'm working on 1 chapter, you ensure that you work every morning. You get up, whether you set your time, whatever day or night, how you work, you must know how you work best. Set that time and stick to it. Even if it's only 1 paragraph you write, no problem. But the goal is to ensure that you fulfill the daily goal, right? The daily goal being you should be writing something on that chapter. Now, when you do it like this, chapter by chapter, you get to fully focus on the different angles that you want your book to come from. But if you try to just write down everything all at once, then you will miss certain key points that you want to bring out. Now, if you set to do your chapter weekly, something that you see today, when you wake up tomorrow, you see it on another perspective. So you can also add that perspective to your chapter. So this is why I say try to do it weekly if you're doing a book with chapters, right? Now, after you've done that, please listen to me and don't follow me. Me make this mistake. Do not read over your chapters as you write. When you read them over, them sound corny. You start make this correction, you start make this change, and you will never get from chapter 1 because you are so caught up with going back over trying to perfect it. This is why we have editors. Editors do that. They check for grammatical error. They check for the flow of your book. So don't try to read it and figure it out. Let the editor figure that out after you're done. Just write what God has placed on your heart in the chapter. Get me? Do not reread what you write, because you're not going to move forward. You're going to be so focused on trying to get this chapter correct that you end up not going forward. Make sense? All right. So after you've done your chapter, you start writing on your chapter. You do not read what you've written until you've pretty much done and let the editor, you and the editor figure that out together. Then you start looking into how you plan to publish your book, because then that's going to be the next important thing. No, nothing is wrong with having a manuscript that is not published when you want it to be published. A lot of people have hundreds of manuscripts. I have over 3 manuscripts here that I've started to work on like years ago. They're just not to the place that they need to be published, so I just leave them there. So even if you're not in the position to publish the book, no, nothing wrong with writing the manuscript and just leaving it in your email or on your computer. It's good to have, so that when you are in the position to do it, or you have the finances too, then you can just go ahead, right? Think about the options that you have. Are you going to be self-publishing? Are you going to go through a traditional publishers where they read your manuscript and see if it make the cut, and then them decide to publish it? Or you're going to go with, a publishing house where you can just go and pay and they will do everything for you. Make that decision. The traditional method and the modernized method where you go to a publishing house and you tell them what to do and they do it comes with a little ching ching. You have to have the ching ching. But then you have the option of self-publishing, and that's the one I chose. Why did I choose self-publishing? Because I never have no money for years. So I look at it, I'm like, I don't have any money right now to put into this. But if I self-published, I come to an agreement with the company that I've signed up with for them to get a percentage of my royalties. So for example, if I sell a book for $10, and let's just say the agreement was for them to get let's just say 80-20, 80% for me, 20% for them. So they would get $2 out of every book that I sell for $10, right? I don't have any problem with that. No, I don't have to take no loan. I don't have to borrow any money. I don't have to use up my life savings to go and publish a book. No, this brings me to my next point. Not everyone is cut out to be how do I explain this? Not everyone is cut out to be a full-time author. I am not cut out to be a full-time author. It's not something that I am overly passionate about. I don't get like excited to thinking about the fact that I want to be a professional author where I just sit down and write books all the day of my life. No, that's not mine. I wrote what God placed on my heart and I wanted to share. And if sometime in the future God tells me, say, oh Shari, I want you to write something else, then I will go ahead. But it's not something I want to do full time. So you have to understand, is it that there's something on your chest, something that is burning that you want to get out to the public, that you know you must get it out, you want to get it out? Then I would recommend go ahead, do self-publish, get it out the way. But if you know that you want to be a full-time author professionally, then I would recommend, partnering up with a publishing house, your team of editors and your illustrators and your graphic designers and all the works, right? But I want to remind you that you can publish your book. You can publish your book with little or nothing. You don't need $1 million. You don't need to borrow no loan. You have so many options, right? I know I didn't dive into everything right now, but yes, I am extremely excited. I am over the moon. So for those who have not yet purchased the book, because I have a lot of friends who have already purchased the book, if you've not yet purchased the book, I beg you please jump onto Amazon and type in my name, Osharae, or you can type in the name of the book, which is Discovering Purpose in Chaos, and I can assure you will see it pop up. The ebook is for $8, and then you have the paperback for $22. No, I also have the option of selling author copies, which I have, and the author copies go for a little bit less. So if you're in the States, the author copies go for $15, and you can get them directly from me. But if you're not in the States and you're in Jamaica, it's going to be 1,500 Jamaican dollars, and you can get those from my friends and my mom. Okay, so I will give you more information, but in the meantime, run go on over Amazon and go look on it. Cover nice and pretty and sweet and nice and all of these things. That's right. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. You guys have my email. You can email me at discoveringpurposeinchaos, at gmail.com for anything that is book related. Any questions that you have that is book related, please send it to my book email and not my personal email. You're trying to keep things all aligned. So that's discovering purpose in chaos at gmail.com. Until next time, my beauties, this is your Jamaican girl Oshari on another episode of Getting It Real with me. Until next time.